This video today is going to highlight Calvin Heimburg's comeback from the 2025 Pro Tour Championship. So in order to come back, he's going to have to be losing. So we're going to take a look at Calvin at the start of the round on hole 1. Misses his birdie putt low. On to hole 2's drive on a par 3. And it skips long out of bounds, so another mistake for Calvin. 2 holes in a row. On to the windy approach shot on hole 3. This approach would be for birdie if he can put it close. And shoots it into the hazard bunker, so 3 straight pars. Slow start for Calvin. He started this round 1 back of the leader. On to hole 4. Drive looked pretty good and skips out of bounds. Third out of bounds stroke of the round. He's got this putt to save the par, and he drills it. So there's a good moment. No birdies yet to start the round, but not taking any bogeys, staying at par. He's definitely losing some strokes to the leader. Now he's got his first birdie chance on hole 5. Misses the putt low again. Pretty windy day, but having some struggles on the putting green a little bit. Hole 6. Gets his first birdie of the round with that good putt. Maybe that birdie can get him jump started into this comeback. Chase down the 2 leaders ahead of him, who are Isaac Robinson and Aaron Gossage in this event. On to the next hole, hole 7, par 3. Calvin sails his drive out of bounds up at the top of the hill. So that's going to be par at best if he can make a long putt. Doesn't even really look like he's running the putt, but gets a bad roll down to the bottom of the hill. Does stay in bounds, which is good, but he's got another edge of circle, outside of circle putt going up the hill. And just low yet again. He's been missing his putts low, but that's going to be a double bogey for Calvin on hole 7. Give that birdie right back. After he collects another birdie on hole 8 to get back to even par on the round. Throwing his drive on hole 9, par 4. And doesn't do what he wanted. Lets it leak a little bit, and it skips on the short golf grass out of bounds. Now on to hole 10. Getting a birdie here. So after a rough front 9 for Calvin, looking to get into a bit of a groove. Collects the birdie on 10 and 11. So he's got something cooking now for his drive on the hole 12, par 3. And just launches it straight out of bounds yet again. So as soon as it looks like Calvin is getting going, he's got some mistakes. Can he sink another long par putt? Good effort, but it's going to be another bogey for Calvin. So on to hole 14 now. Unfortunately, in most comebacks, it's going to involve the leaders ahead of you making some mistakes or getting some bad luck. Aaron Gossage slips on the tee, so his drive is going to be sailing straight out of bounds with that unfortunate slip. Going into this hole 14, Gossage has been playing pretty good round so far. With 5 holes to go, Calvin Heimburg is 5 shots behind Gossage and 2 behind Isaac Robinson. So with Gossage's out-of-bounds stroke, Calvin looking to gain a stroke or 2 back. Slides a nice drive up there, right in the middle. On this par 4, got to clear an out-of-bounds line up into the circle near the basket. So Calvin's drive, he's going for it, going for the green. Clears the out-of-bounds rocks and puts himself inside the circle in a good spot. So with that good drive, he's looking to gain a stroke on Aaron here. as at best Aaron can get par with a good approach up into the green. Goose's approach is up and almost makes it up onto the green, but it hits the rocks or the grass there and rolls back down. So it's going to be bogey for Gossage. The spotter did not give him the spot of crossing up onto the green, so he's got to throw yet another approach from the bottom of the hill. Gets it up over the rocks this time, almost pushes out of bounds long, but he's going to have an outside of circle putt for his double bogey. Calvin looking to gain a lot of strokes here as he's sitting inside the circle pretty close for a birdie look. Gossage not happy with the spotting on this hole, pleading his case. So just like that on this 14th hole, looks like things are starting to go bad for the leaders a little bit. Gossage with this outside circle putt misses it low, so that's going to be a triple bogey for Aaron. Calvin, meanwhile, been waiting to have his birdie putt the whole time here. Looking to gain 4 strokes with this birdie putt, which would put him within 1 of Goose. But he clanks it off the left side chains. Unfortunate miss for Calvin, but he's still going to gain 3 strokes on Aaron, none on Isaac, who parred that hole as well. On to hole 15, long uphill par 5, definitely eagleable, and Calvin booms a drive out there. So now he's still 2 behind both of the leaders, but the tough part is that he's got 2 people to track down, not 1. Isaac, after a good drive, throws his second shot, good approach. Looks like he's going to be in a good position to get up and down for the birdie. Same thing for Gossage. Boomed a nice drive out here. Now looking to get a good approach, set up a pretty simple birdie if he can get it into a good spot. And it looks like he's going to do so. So with Aaron and Isaac both appearing to be in good spots to get a birdie look, Calvin's going to be throwing his second here, going way up the hill. Uphill run up, very difficult shot, and he gets it up there. It's going to be a long putt, but he's got an eagle look. He's got this outside of circle, uphill eagle look to try to gain a stroke on both Isaac and Aaron and get within 1 of each of both of them. And he sinks it. Great putt from Calvin. Huge moment there. So, he does indeed collect the eagle on a tough par 5. Isaac did get up and down, puts in his birdie putt. Gossage did the same, got up and down, and taps out his birdie putt. So Calvin Heimburg is still trailing both Isaac and Aaron by 1 stroke each, but he has started to catch fire here. Now he's got par 4, tough birdie on a windy day, but Calvin is going for it all as he sends a massive drive out there. Gets a lot of skip, but doesn't get a roll and sits down before that out of bounds on the left. So now he's going to have this still long approach into the green, trying to give himself a birdie look. And he's done a pretty good job. Gets up inside the circle. So that's really putting the pressure on both Isaac and Gossage as they both elected to play a layup off the tee, just going for par as they didn't want to risk the tough drive and throwing their drives out of bounds. So now they're going to be throwing their third into the pin, looking for a par. Gossage's approach is swinging in. Looks fairly good, and it is. Checks up right there inside the circle. So now Isaac Robinson looking to do the same. Get up and down, collect his par, which he was playing for. But the approach shot is sailing on him and going left, and that's going to be out of bounds for Isaac. So he's going to be putting for bogey from there. Calvin for sure going to be gaining 1 to 2 strokes if he knocks down his birdie putt. Isaac does not connect on the putt, so that's going to be a double bogey. Tough miss off the left side. So now it has looked like Calvin is going to be passing Isaac. Aaron has got this putt for par to stay in a tie, and really not a great effort low there. Definitely a windy day. A lot of factors going on out there. Calvin does not miss his opportunity this time on a short birdie putt and puts it in. So he's going to take the outright lead now, as Gossage is shooting for bogey and misses another short putt. So that's going to be a double bogey for both Aaron and Isaac. And not only does Calvin take the lead, but he takes it by 2 strokes on each of them. So just 3 holes ago, going into 14, Calvin was down 5 shots to Aaron, 2 shots to Isaac, and now he's got a 2-shot lead. 7-stroke swing in the last 3 holes for Calvin. On to a par 3, tricky island shot. Calvin's drive is drifting towards that tree, and it sneaks through and is onto the green, safe. Nice drive for Calvin. Pretty much forcing birdies from the other 2 who are now chasing him, who are just leaders. Take another look. Calvin's drive, not perfect, but fights through the branches and stays safe. So now on to Isaac. Down by 2, really needs to get a birdie here for sure to give himself any chance. Drive is looking fairly decent, but it starts leaking left and rolls back out of bounds. That's going to be par at best for Isaac, and he's going to have to go to a long drop zone. Aaron now setting up his drive on the par 3, hole 17. Swings it in, looking short, skips off the water, and it's onto the green, safe. But that is going to be in a long, probably as far you can get from the pin while staying safe. He's going to have an outside circle look for his birdie. Calvin, knowing that his drive on the green puts him in a really good position to take this tournament down. Isaac knows he's got to run this putt. Pretty good effort, but that's going to be bogey for Isaac. Aaron now has this look for birdie, hoping to stay within 2 of Calvin. Pretty good putt, just a little high. So now Calvin has this to gain even more strokes on the 2 competitors he just tracked down, and he does so by putting that in. Last 3 holes went eagle, birdie, birdie for Calvin as his competitors struggled. So now Calvin's got a 3-shot lead heading into par 5, hole 18. He's just going to chip his way up the fairway, throws a safe shot, gets himself into a good position to throw another safe approach up this hill, and he does so, keeping it away from the out of bounds on the right as it fades left. Calvin knows he can just take a par or even a bogey and still walk away with this win as long as there's no crazy throw-ins for eagle or anything. So now he's on to his 3rd shot on the final hole. Making sure he's taking his time. pitches another one up there. And that's going to be pretty much a done deal, as he just got to pitch it up for his par. Pretty incredible comeback. Definitely needed some help from the two competitors ahead of him. Puts it up there, and that's going to be a comeback win for Calvin Heimburg at the 2025 Pro Tour Championship. Definitely a shaky start to the front nine. Lost a lot of strokes, but he played well on the back. Got hot at the right time. Definitely Aaron and Isaac had some meltdowns, but Calvin is your champ. We'll see you next time. Peace.